As the Syrian regime continues to destabilize, Iran will be looking for ways to bog down the foreign sponsors of the Syrian rebels in hopes of convincing those sponsors that any post-Assad transition negotiation must involve Tehran. Iran has a number of militant levers to try and send that message, but the reliability of its main militant proxy, Hezbollah, is coming into question. Syrian regime forces are still fighting with relatively good cohesion in the capital and key cities like Aleppo, but the inner circle of the regime is cracking. The likelihood of Iran losing its strategic foothold in the Levant, along with a U.S. military buildup in the Persian Gulf, are placing Iran on the defensive after a decade of regional expansion. Militancy by proxy is Iran's primary tool to demonstrate that it remains a regional force to be reckoned with in this time of weakness. Turkey is growing increasingly worried about the threat of Kurdish militancy being used by Iran and remnants of the Syrian regime to make Ankara regret its decision to back the Syrian rebellion. The Iraqi Kurdistan Regional Government is openly admitting to helping train Syrian Kurds as they prepare for a post-Assad Syria. Syrian regime forces are also deliberately retreating from border posts in Kurdish areas in order to exacerbate the Kurdish threat for Ankara. Now that the Syrian regime is cracking, Iran and the embattled Syrian regime have much less to lose in antagonizing Turkey by throwing support behind Kurdish militant factions of the PKK. We'll also be keeping a close eye on eastern Arabia, where Shia unrest in Bahrain and Saudi Arabia's oil-rich eastern province continues to simmer. This is a highly strategic arena for Iran to shake its regional adversaries and the oil markets. However, Iran's covert capabilities in this theater are still in early development, so this will be a good litmus test of Iran's ability to exploit Shia dissent in the Persian Gulf. Iran's heavy investment in Hezbollah over the past 3 decades has produced a sophisticated militant organization with proven overseas capabilities. But Hezbollah does not consider itself a mere Iranian proxy. The organization has developed into a Lebanese political movement with entrenched business interests that transcend far beyond Lebanese borders. The loss of a Syrian sponsor and the regional decline of Iran will likely force Hezbollah to recalibrate its position. The group is not looking to invite an Israeli military confrontation in Lebanon through attacks. Hezbollah is also looking seriously at the potential for Sunnis and their allies, emboldened by regime collapse in Syria, to take on the Shia militant organization in Lebanon. Hezbollah is already hunkering down to prepare for sectarian warfare. Hezbollah is unlikely to be of one mind in how to react to the regional shift in circumstances, and splits within the organization are possible, but we suspect that prudence over adventurism will prevail in Hezbollah decision-making at this stage. If Iran can't rely on Hezbollah as strongly as before, it will become more dependent on its own covert arm to carry out transnational attacks. The July 18 bus bombing in Bulgaria that targeted Israeli tourists was a reminder of this threat, but it's unlikely that such attacks would intimidate the United States, Saudi Arabia, Turkey, France, and others into rolling back their campaign to undercut Iran's regional influence. In the longer term, Iran's covert capabilities in Syria will also show. When the regime's forces collapse, it's very likely that Iran will attempt to back an insurgency, using already well-trained Alawite forces to prevent the consolidation of a Sunni regime. The example set by former Ba'athist Sunni soldiers displaced by sectarian warfare in Iraq offers an all too recent case study of this trend in reverse.